Welcome back, folks. Here we are, Farming Simulator 19. So first and foremost, we're just going to give a quick overview here, and then we'll get into the explanation while we're loading in. So save game 2, too legit to quit is what I'm going to be showing you. Ravenport map, we're on start from scratch, and we're 573 hours. Why 573 hours, you ask? Well, 570 hours, I actually made a Farming Simulator 17 video of where I'm at, and my God, what the difference. So just quick here, overview of the mods that I'm running. Everything with a check mark is what I'm loading right now, is what I'm using. You will see them. You can pause the screen, and there will be a link or a list in the description. So we'll get into this. So first and foremost, I wasn't actually intending on making this video. I didn't even realize where I was in 19. I kind of wanted to show my farm and see what I was doing, just because of the fact that 19 is the first one that came out with the landscaping, and I was so looking forward to that landscaping. So I've been trying to still keep it as realistic as possible. As you saw, I do have that trust fund farm. That trust fund farm is actually my tester farm, so animals or landscaping or buildings, mods, anything like that I want to test out. I want to see what slots it requires, anything like that. I bring into that one first. I use the money glitch, I buy it, I see what's needed or what's required, if I like it or not, and if it'll fit into my farm. If it fits into my farm, then I bring it over, I save up the money, and I do it properly. So like I said, I've been doing start from scratch. I'm on the hard economy. The reason why that's a big difference is just in 17, I did fail to mention in the video, shameless plug, I'll put a little link in the description of the video if you want to check it out, that I failed to mention that I was doing easy or normal mode. Whichever, I think is just whatever mode it gives you when you first start the game. I think I just went to the easiest mode and I just have at her. Well, at 570 hours, I own the whole thing. So I owned the whole map, I owned everything, and now in 19, with me trying as hard as possible, because I wanted the challenge, I'm at 570 hours, and as you'll see here shortly, I barely own anything. So first and foremost as well, I am running seasons with the Harvest DLC as well as the Precision Farming. I just picked up the Precision Farming. We just got into that now. With puppy and work and everything like that, I haven't been able to play as often as I'd like to play. That'd be nice. But so here we are, my farm. Just real quick, we'll go over the logistics here, and then we'll get into the show and tell here. So right now, here's the whole farm. Oh, there we go. Let's get back into fruit types. That works there. So I've got 14, 15, 16, 17, all of the bottom fields I own. So what I've done, 14 and 19, I've planted them all as corn. They're just planted, so we'll see how they go this season. That'll be my setup for the pigs. But that's all I own, and I own 9 as well. So if you go to Precision Farming section, so those are the soil types I got. I'm just working them away, seeing how they go. pH, I just finished in the early spring. I was able to do all of my fertilization, get everything all ready to go, which in the Precision Farming, with fertilization, there is a little exploit you can do to make extra money on your farming or your fertilizing contracts, because the contracts in this game on start from scratch and hard economy will be your lifesaver. Stock wise, I really don't have very much. I have very little for my crops. The potatoes and the sugar beets definitely are high output, small fields, so that was kind of nice, but I still don't have very much. The silage, hay, straw, that sort of stuff, I have been pounding out non-stop since day one to try to prep myself up for all the animals, and I definitely have a good stockpile. I think we're at 61 days. JCB Fast Track, I believe, is my day one. I've had that puppy since day one, and it has been with me thick and thin. JCB Fast Track 4220. There it is, 62 days, 101.1 hours. Oh man, yeah, it's been with me through thick and thin. Money wise, again, I just sold. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. I just sold a couple tractors, because for a while there I was running 2 tractors, and it turns out 4 tractors, and I didn't need 4, I needed 2, so I sold 2 and got a beefy one. Actually, I sold 3 and got a beefy one. Harvest income, I just made some money in the spring, so that was kind of nice, as well as contracts. As you see, I have been going nuts on contracts. There is, again, an exploit for the fertilizing contracts that you can make some seriously good coin. I will, if you want, let me know in the comments. I will totally make up a video on that. I haven't even searched to see if anybody else has figured it out yet. So But if you're interested, I'll definitely whip up a video. I'd love to do that and show you folks. Now, also, too, I am working on my stables, and then other stuff has just been costing me as we go. So pretty good. The straw harvest did put me about $1 million behind. I've played the game long enough now, and I owed enough money long enough that I have major equity in the bank. I can borrow millions upon millions of dollars. But thankfully, the straw harvest was only about $1 million for me to set up. Because of me selling those tractors, I had to buy the one new tractor. Oh, we got a transporting contract. Excellent. Because here we are. All of my credentials there, the main thing there is missions completed and completed transport missions. Got 147 missions completed, 118 completed transport missions. Awesome. I like I said, bread and butter. That has been making me my money. My overhead has been anywhere from between $8,000 to $9,000 a day. I'm down to about $5,000 a day right now. So as long as I make $5,000 a day, that covers my overhead. Anything above that, any increments above 5,000 I can make above that, then I can pay off the bank. So as you saw, I'm down to $575,000 still owing. Whoo, man, I'm still scratching the bottom of the barrel because compared to 19, I had millions of dollars. I own the whole property. Here's our settings here, real time, hard economy. Trying to keep it as real as possible. Everything's on when it comes to that. Refills are off, all that sort of stuff. Everything's manual. There's my other settings. You don't really need to, well, if you're interested, there you go, but nothing to see there. Now, if we get into our animals and our seasons, I am running the 3-day seasons. So I am running 3 days in seasons, a small farm. I don't really need to go bigger than that yet. Once I grow the farm, then great. We just actually had a really good drying season, or drying a couple days. Excuse me. What I was able to do was cut everything yesterday, the day before yesterday. I think it was yesterday. No, it was yesterday morning. And then now today, this afternoon, I just finished one field. I have another field to finish up. We'll get there. Started chickens and horses from day one. So my chicken coop is completely full. I've got all 400. I've been pounding out nothing but eggs. All I wanted was eggs. That's all I'm doing is eggs. Same thing with the cattle. All I wanted was milk right now. So all I've been doing is pounding out the milk. Just getting nothing but Holstein cows, trying to get those going. Sheep, I've been working my way up, slowly getting there, and just been slowly growing them. But my pigs, I still haven't done. The horses, I'm only doing one right now because when you get seasons, it changes from $5,000 a day, or $5,000 to purchase, to $50,000 to sale, to now it turns into, you're what's the word? Excuse me. You're stabling. Yeah, there's a stable. So it's basically you're boarding. That's it. You're boarding the horse, and it's just you're getting a daily. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out which horse is the most cost effective. I know there's videos out there, but I kind of want to do this myself, so I've been doing it. Right now, the Andalusian is ahead on the lead for just over, I think it was about just over $1,100 a day when he's at 100%. So that's fantastic. And the rest of this stuff, I haven't really used the crop rotation planner yet here and there. But I'm still getting used to that one. I know, 570 hours, I'm still getting used to it. There's so much in this game. And here we are, finally. Okay, so, pretty basic at the start setup. There's not too much changed. I have put the stables at the front here, working my horses. I've got my basic farmhouse. And I'm actually in the middle. Like I said, I just finished cleaning up one field. So I was able to get 16 bales off of this back field right here. So we'll hop into this truck here, get a little bit of a better view. There we go. I'll widen it right out. Okay. So right up front here, we've been running this flatbed let's see what name it is. I think it's a TTHD Flatbed, I do believe. Yes. So that is the one mod truck I've been running. It's fantastic. As you see, I have two trucks because this farm is actually turned into about a 2-person farm. Maybe 3 on harvest time, but that's about it. I've got the basic small shed. That's a mod shed. Works for my milling machine as well as my stock stump cutter. And actually hands out pretty good. I've been able to landscape a little bit of a flatness there. I'll be able to get everything planted. Up over here, I didn't initially have my chickens, but right now I'm running my MF shed pack. That's what these sheds are. You're going to be seeing me using those a lot, actually. So right here, I've got my MF shed pack. I've got the tractor, my JCB fast track, 101 hours. Oh yeah, this thing has been through thick and thin. 4-wheel steer, and you can put the narrow tires on it. This is my first tractor I bought, and it has worked out, still working for me. I refuse to sell this one. Now this right here, this is the let's see here, skid steer loader 711 pack. That's the skid steer. Plus I've got the Tensionbelt Pack for the forks, which helps a lot for the transport missions. Now this is the DO24 trailer and that flatbed right there. That combination right there, I have been able to do every single trailer mission or contract, excuse me, every single transport contract. And I've been able to do it one trip. I've been able to pack everything on realistically, no stacking. When it comes to the briefcases and the luggage, you don't have to stack any of the pallets, nothing like that. So it works out really, really well. Highly recommend that for sure. It's been running. I had to work my way through the different mods and equipment until I found this setup. But once I did, boy, oh boy, works out great. There is the Hauer snowplow POW. That works out good for the season, for the wintertime, when I just kind of plow out my farm and I'm just doing my logging stuff. Oh yeah, there's the one field. That's a logging attempt. We'll get there shortly. One moment here. And just show you real quick. Got all of my power wagons in here. So power wagons are in here. Things have been moving around. I think I like them here so far. This has been working out pretty good. Kind of feel like it should be protected. You know, all that equipment there. Now, the MF Shed Pack is super, super handy. There's multiple MF Shed Pack components of the farm that I've been using. So that's one of them. And like I said, I've got the basic stables right here, just the regular large, I think it's regular stables. And then this field back here, what I ended up doing now, you'll notice on all my fields, what I did was I've actually replowed them all out, get them as big as possible. I've connected those two fields, rounded them right out, get them as big as possible, because I wanted the best yield. This one I replanted grass, and then I tried to do rows for trees. However, what I screwed up was I didn't know spacing. I didn't understand spacing. So now that I know that those planted too close, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start chopping them down, getting rid of them. Probably do rows of poplar and just see. I do have a pallet of poplar ready and waiting. That I want to see what the poplar's like for harvest and crop and output and the whole 9 yards. It's going to be very small. And then what I've also done is I've run the grass in between, so you can still fit a mower between the rows and you can still get some grass. So this was the field that I actually got the 16 bales from, so I was able to do that, which is very handy. And then over here, my regular logging my logging setup is literally that trailer, a tractor, and a chainsaw. I have not gotten the top-notch stuff yet. I wish. But that I'm working there. Like I said, a start contract, because in 19, I've got a full logging setup. I've got a full logging, wood chip, you name it. And I've barely been here. This is all I can afford right now in 19 with the hard economy. Now, over on this side, like I said, I've connected these two fields. I've put the gate up, or the fences up there. I have crop destruction on, and I have all my realism on, so I want to make sure I don't drive into it accidentally. Now, over here, I am running the small silo pack, I think. Small bunker silo set is what this is. It looks fantastic. Well, it looks fantastic. I really like the realism. I wish you could put a green tarp down, or a black tarp or tires on top of the tarp. That would be crazy awesome. But it still looks really good. And it works fantastic. For a small little farm like me, I can put whatever I want inside each. And usually what I've been doing is I've been using field 19 there for my maize, I guess. Because I've been planting corn, and it's been filling these silos up no problem. As you saw in my numbers, I've got lots of silage ready to go. I got my packer, and I got my leveler there, and I've got my conveyor belts, and I also got my unloader or the main loader for the conveyor belt over here. Now, what I've done landscaping, again, wise, I love it landscaping in this game, is I've actually put a little lift here, so now I can bring any size trailer in at all, and I can load up, no problem. And now, originally, before I could afford the conveyor belts, what I did was I actually had, I have this fence, but I have the front end loader, and you can actually run the front end loader, just run it right up to the edge of this fence, and you can still fit it up to the trailer. So even when I had the big trailers and a small loader, I could still load it up with silage. Now, over there, we'll get there. Here, hold on. Let's just hop back into the truck. Oh, and my mower, all of my mowing stuff is right here. Real basic. Again, I don't have anything huge. I haven't been able to afford all the big stuff yet. So we're getting there. I want to get rid of the loan first. I want to get into the black. I've obviously got the lease equipment all paid off. And then once the lease equipment was all paid off, then then I worked on my loan. So I banked myself right out. I leased stuff. Oh yeah, it was a tough slough to get through that first little bit. So again, MF Shed Pack silo here, very handy. It's got the load up and unload in the same area, and it's got a drive-through. Now, what I've done is I've actually made a little entrance for my farm and then a little drive-through as well. So any kind of big truck, little truck, doesn't matter, you name it, you can bring it on in, load it up, unload it, and drive on through. You don't have to worry about any backing up. Now, again, reason for that, I'd like a smaller farm, but you just the way the game has the placement of the buildings is that, yeah, like I can't get the buildings as close as I would like, and so far this actually works out really well for this type of setup. Now, all the MF Shed Packs come with these little shelves on the end for the silos, just the silos, but they work really well, and they're not any extra slots, and they, as you can see, they fit the pallets really well, and they actually fit equipment too. You'll see in my animals area that I'm running my skid steer equipment all by, oh, I know, yeah, I'll just leave it running. I have it all piled up on the shelving. Now, this is the MF Shed Pack for the washing station. As you can see, I haven't washed my truck yet. We're not going to wash it right now, but this is the washing station for that. Again, drive-through, so it doesn't matter the size of equipment. Then we get down here. This would be my wood frame open sheds with brick wall. Now this is super, super handy. Now those bales over there, they're just going to come in here. And what I've been doing is I've just been running my silage, straw, and hay bales up each row through the year, and then come autumn, come harvest time, that's when, after I'm all done, harvest, everything's good, just before winter, I'll make my total mixed rations, and then I'll put them into the MF Shed Pack silo over there, because that can actually take silage. And then, as you'll see, what I do is I run that up to my animals once I've made the total mixed rations, because I produce the total mixed rations, the silage production all gets done in this farm, and then it gets shipped over to my animals, getting ready to get doled out. Now, last little bit down here. Now, again, with the building placement, I figured out, actually, I did have a video of how to do it. It's a basic video, but I figured out you can actually plant this building right beside this building. So this is the garage with workshop trigger, and then this is the garage with workshop trigger, and then this is the barn with workshop. And there is a little workshop inside. This is usually where I keep my skid steer, where you saw up on the trailer. There's just so many transport missions, I just left it on the trailer. But this is usually where I keep my skid steer. There is a repair, but there's nothing you can fit in here. So I don't use that one. I use that one, and works out fantastic. Really like the look of it. I got my front end loader, basics. I think it's the Stall Stall something 60. It's the bigger one, the longer arms. And again, with those longer arms and that little raised area right there, you can load up anything. It may take a while, but you can do it. The bucket is part of the CSZ pack, Charlie Sierra Zulu pack. Very handy. I'm actually going to be getting a couple pieces of attachment from them. A little annoying that they have their own camera, but I guess that's, some people like that. I'm not a fan of it myself, but it's not the end of the world. It's very useful piece of equipment. I've got the forks on it, or the claws on it, because I actually get a little bit more for the price and the slots, I believe, because what are we at? We're getting tight on the slots here. We're at 1,262 slots of 1,299. So I am getting tight. I've got just enough slots now that I think as I get bigger equipment and grow my farm, then I'll have a buffer there. Now, this is the fork lizard with claws. This is a fantastic bale piece. What? Oh yeah, object's too heavy. What? Oh my God, I can lift it. Oh, what? I did not know that. Huh. Alrighty then. So now you know too. So anyways, fork lizard with claws, great piece of equipment. Goes with the front end loader. And it works fantastic for doing my bale work and packing up that shed right there. If you want to see it, shameless plug again, I do have a video of a silage bale contract that I actually use those forks in, and you can actually see them in action. I got my trailer here. This is the main trailer that I just bring between farms to take care of the animals. My water trailer is way, oh, there it is. You can see it way down to the end there. And again, MF shed pack. This is where all my power, again, power equipment that I use with the JCB. And this is all the stuff. I got my weeder. There's my seeder for my corn. There too, those two right there. So those two are my seeders for my corn and that type of crop, any root crop. I got my liquid no, this is my herbicide. I use the herbicide with this, and I use the solid fertilizer for fertilizing. Again, if you want to see it, maybe, you know what? Maybe I will make that video. Maybe I will. Because there's a wicked exploit with the precision farming. You set it on manual, you put it to the lowest. There you go. I just answered the video for you. And you can actually make some money on the contracts. Here is my precision farming pieces of equipment. Now there will be an attachment from the CSZ pack that'll allow this to attach to my front end loader, and then I'll be able to put my skid steer, sorry about that. I'll be able to put this on my skid steer on the trailer, and then go around to my different fields and test them all out, which I think that would look better, and to me it feels like it would be better. Now I still have just a single silo on this, and I do have the MF shed pack over there, but I only got this silo here, and this is just the basic one. The straw and hay barn as well, that's just your basic one. I've got my stock trailers there, one for the tractor, one for my fifth wheel, and then at the back here I've got the MF shed pack has their own fertilizer hut and seed hut. And I really like, again, you can post these right beside each other. I was even able to post them right beside the silo, and I just think it works really well. And I was able to do this in a way that it's a bit of it's a U-turn. So now you can bring equipment down the side here, or you can bring your equipment in. This is both the unloading side, and then you go to the other run, that's your loading up side. Now back here, this is my first major attempt at landscaping. This is the barn, Timberframe Barn with attic. Timberframe Barn with attic, yes. So this works out really good. At the beginning, I actually put the little ramp in. Really love this. And I actually had my eggs up there. I was pretending it was refrigerated. But while the chickens were there, I had my eggs up here. And then once the eggs moved, chickens moved and the eggs moved, then I have them stored somewhere else nearby with them. We'll show you that here shortly. And up here right now, I just have my mower up here. That's all I can really think of putting in here right now. But here's my mower. It just keeps the property nice and clean. You can see the grass is already starting to grow a little bit, so could use another cutting. And what I've been doing is as I cut the maintenance, or as I do the maintenance for the lawn on my properties, because I have one here and I have a mower down at my, oh yeah, we'll go back this way. Got some corn here. That's going to be more maize this year. And I have my mower, another mower, sitting at the animals. Now that's the one handy thing. The game obviously promotes fleet because you spend a lot of points for your slots to get a vehicle, but then to get the same vehicle it's only one more. So that's why you'll see not a lot, but you'll see doubles. Got the cultivator, my plow, 6M. What is this one called? Oh, sorry, the Lizard Subsoiler 6M. This is super handy. I'm not a fan of the long plows. I know I'm not a fan of them. And this is super handy for time-wise. It's a real good time saver. It gets the job done super quick. And I got small fields, or I have small fields, I should say. So it works out really well. You can actually plow your fields out really well. This is the Fueltank 5000. Yeah, I think it's just Fueltank 5000. Fueltank 5000 liter. And planted this down, a little bit of landscaping by it. So it's kind of tucked away in the backside here. You just back anything up, fill it up, and off you go. I got my stock seeder here. That's the main seeder that I'm running right now. I really like the one as a trailer because even for the contracts, you can really plan it. I don't worry about fertilizing because I have seasons on and precision farming and such. Excuse me. So my fertilizing is all separate. Except the corn planter does have a fertilization option, but even then I don't use it. And here is my stock lime trailer. I spent the big bucks on this thing when I got it. Oh yeah, I wanted to make sure I can get her done. So bought that thing. I've got it fully decked out. Got the extender. Got everything. Yeah, I spent the money on that one. And back here again. So again, that's where I keep my loader. Got all the attachments for it. I have a weights here. Weights kind of move around, but right now that's where the weights are sitting. And at the back side, we just got the trailers. So, or the water trailer, as like you said, you can see. And I try to keep the farm like not too much landscaping, because it's got to be realistic landscaping. It's not like I'm a farmer and I come in and I move a mountain, right? So I've been trying to do the landscaping subtle but still workable, and it's actually worked out really well. There's the bales that I have to still put in the shed over there, but we'll get there. That'll be later. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the animals. Now, what I've done with the animals is I was able to find field 20 and 21, and with field 20 and 21, I was able to actually fairly level to start, so I was very little manipulation to try to finalize level it. And then what I did was I actually made it a two level. Oh, there's my field of canola. Again, you can see I've rounded it right out to try to get the maximum yield. And what I've also done is a tester field over here. Now this time I've tried it with potatoes and sugar beets. Works really good with the run through road. And now I'm doing sugar cane. So we'll see how it goes with the sugar cane. But potatoes and, oh, got some weeds too. Potatoes and sugar beets have already been done in this field, and it's really handy. I put this one row in. So now when I come in for the first run, I don't have to worry about destroying crops by having all of my equipment with narrow tires, because there are some trailers, specifically mine, that I don't have narrow tires. So me trying to go in on a fresh crop with it all extended out like that, without that run, I would actually destroy crop for the first few runs. So I decided to do that, and it works out pretty good. And we're going to try the same thing with the sugarcane harvester. We're going to see how that works and have a truck run up the center and you can load it up. Now, over here, this is soybean, I do believe. Oh, sunflower. There we go. You can see them. So this is my sunflower. I got that going again. I have rounded out the field to try to make it as big as possible. On some fields, especially on this field, I actually cleared out the backside. You can see all the trees on the edge there. There at the beginning of the game, that whole area is treed in. So I actually went in, cleared all the trees out, plowed it all out, made a through road up until the trail to the right there, just underneath the stats in the top left or top right side of the map or screen. Oh boy, excuse me, words are hard. Now, here we are, animals, finally. So I've kept with the stock stables. I found that the stock stables still work best for me, except what I've done is I've actually just landscaped around. Again, MF shed pack, I've been using it like mad. So what I did here was use this shed again, keep my skid steer inside here. This is where I keep the skid steer for taking care of the farm. And then over there, I can't really see right now, I'll show you there shortly, but over there I have all my attachments. So there's my skid steer. Don't really use that repair. I have another repair set up here as well. All my empty egg pallets stay here. I only got 2 left. Now the egg pallets take slots, so that's why I don't have very many egg pallets, but the wool pallets, they don't take slots. So I've just been stocking up as much as I can to wait for the mad sale. Once the mad sale happens, that's when I sell off my crop. So the attachments for the skid steer, all sitting right here, ready to go. And works out really well for the sheds, just keeps them nice and tidy. I like the look of it. In between here, I've got my sugarcane harvester that has yet to be used. We're about to get that this season. That'll be awesome. I can't wait. All right, we got the basic sheep. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, brain fart there. So basic sheep here. We got our cattle there. Again, just all the stock setup. However, what I've done, I just added some fencing around the sheep here just to make sure when I take corners, I don't take it too short or plow into it. Holy jumping. Somebody needs a cleanup. Wowzer. Okay. So once I got the, once I grab the skid steer, I can clean all that up and get that all good to go. But the sheep will just pound that grass out like there is no tomorrow. Absolutely no tomorrow. So it's constant cleanup with those guys. Pigs are even worse. I remember from 17, pigs were definitely worse. I have the pigs set up ready. I am ready to go for pigs. I've got it in there, landscaped all around it. I was able to get it to the top area. You can kind of see you can see the straw harvest behind it. We'll get there shortly. But I have it ready to go. So once I get that big field full of corn harvested, I'm hoping that'll give me a good enough stockpile to start up the pigs, and then maybe I'll get a couple bucks and I can buy a couple pigs. I'm not going to go hog wild. Oh, horrible. So again, MF shed pack. This is really handy because I just got my tender right here, my sugar beet topper. Sugar beet topper, another weight. Oh, another weight. I have 3 weights, 2 tractors. Ooh, I can sell that. Ooh, more money. And we have our mower. Oh, she's dirty. So got the mower sitting there, and this just keeps it all nice and tidy for me, which is really handy. Now I'm pretending this is like partly refrigerated. I don't know, but this works out really well for me right now. I have all my eggs right now that I've stockpiled, and I've got my wool that I'm stockpiling. And again, like I've said, I'm waiting for that sale. I want to have that mad sale. That's when I sell off my crop. That's when I'm waiting for the big payout, and it hasn't happened. 570 at 2 hours. And I'm still waiting for a wool sale. Well, remember, I had to build it up. So it hasn't been that long, but a couple seasons. It's been a couple seasons that I've gotten that much wool. And we're just waiting for the big sale. I've been able to pick up a slurry trailer. I don't know why I picked that up, but I did. So I'm keeping on to it because I know I'm going to need it eventually. I am using... that's right. I should explain myself. So with the cattle, I'm actually not giving them straw. I'm going to keep the manure for the pigs. Right now, the cattle are just giving me nothing but slurry. So no straw for the cattle, and we're going to make nothing but slurry. And then when the pigs come in, that's when I'm going to start giving them straw, so then I can start building my manure setup, or manure stockpile, I should say. Now, I have been able to do a little through road. Again, not too much landscaping. You can see how the slope was and then where I cut into it. So I really didn't get too crazy. And I couldn't really because, again, money. Man, landscaping is expensive. But I was able to cut into it just enough and be able to fit everything in here. And it works out really nicely. I really like the setup so far and how it's looking. Got my chickens. This is where all my chickens are now, obviously. And I got my milk trailer right there. It's a stock milk trailer. Nothing mods about that. And we've got our eggs. Oh, looks like one pallet is just about full. Looks like, oh man, that was way too far around. Oh, so close, so close. So one more pallet's just about done. Got my 400 chickens. Over here is where I've got my fuel and repair. So anything over here, again, I had 4 tractors. I actually had 2 tractors here, 2 tractors at my other farm. And the reason for that was I actually drove the truck down and used the tractors here to run the farm. And then I realized the money in the slots that I was sitting on. So that's why I sold everything off. That's why I sold everything off, because I could make some more money. And really, it's only about a 2-person farm. I don't need 4 tractors. I really don't. So I got rid of those and I made some money. I got the big blue Valtra. That's the one that runs my baler for the straw harvest. So down here, what I was able to do was put a nice little slope into it, and then I made myself a staging area. I didn't even know about the straw harvest, but I made a little staging area where I was drying my grass and just doing any bale work or restacking, anything like that. Excuse me. And then once the straw harvest came out, it worked out great because I was able to slap that puppy right here. And it works out. Oh, you can see the lights through the roof. That's interesting. So it slapped that puppy right here, and it works out fantastic. I don't even move the baler. I actually just bring my tractor in, hook up to it, and then I use the skid steer to bring the bales in, and I load up the conveyor belt with the skid steer because I usually have a friend running the bales down to me, and away we go. And then as you can see, I just got ready to go. It actually just dried today. That's where I started on the smaller field with the trees. And now I have this hay that has to get picked up. I'm thinking I'm going to just pick it up and store it. I'm not going to bale this stuff. But I do want to bale my big logging setup. We'll show you that here shortly. Very, very quickly, actually. So, last but not least, part of the straw harvest is the sale point. Now, the problem with the sale point is you actually have to have that on your property. But just the whole having it on my property to sell was, yeah. So, what worked out really good, the fact that I own the property here, is I actually put it here to make it seem as if the owner of the sale point is actually this shack right here, and that's his car right there. So, technically it's on my property, but we're going to say it's not, that it's his property, right? Sure, works for me. So, and then last but not least, for the animals area, I did put a through road here. So now anytime you're coming down, especially for the contracts, because the contracts, a lot of them are at the coffee house and the cement factory. So if you wanted to, if you happen to be here, you could just take this road right to it and away you go. Now there are a lot of other missions that are the water tower missions and all that sort of stuff. But so from here we are going to go up to field 9. So what I was imagining when I got into Ravenport was a lot of logging. I thought they would have included a lot, like a logging section. If you're watching if you've watched the 17 video, you'll see the logging area. And even if you played 19 or 17, you'll know in Goldcrest Valley they actually have logging areas, and a lot of the mod maps have been doing that. Now I didn't do a mod map because by time I got the game when it first came out, I was so excited, and I've been plugging away since day one. Excuse me. Now the plugging away since day one, they didn't have any mod maps. They didn't have any mods whatsoever. So what I was doing was I was doing Ravenport, and then once the mod maps came out, I had too many hours in. I couldn't give up. I couldn't walk away. So we just continued on. So when I came into Ravenport, I was really thinking that there was going to be a logging area, but I was unfortunately very disappointed to see that the logging industry in this map itself, and even I would say Felsburn's kind of the same way for the 2 vanilla maps, excuse me, and it just doesn't give you that option. So what I wanted to do and what I thought of was trying to make a sustainable logging industry in Ravenport. And you saw my little initial setup attempt on the earlier field there. First field I showed you, I don't remember the number of it. Let's see, 26. So field 26 is the beginner try. However, field 9, I finally got the spacing right. So we're going to see how big they grow. Well, they should be growing all the way to full capacity. And then once they grow to full capacity, then I'll be able to log them. Now, as you can see as well, I've also made it where you can still harvest the grass in between. So you can still fit a mower and a windrower between these rows, and you can still get all the grass as you go, and it's fantastic. So this is my first actual harvest, so I don't even know how much grass I'm going to get from this, but I would imagine it should be quite a bit. And then what I did was I planted the trees. So the plan is, if I harvest, let's say 2 rows. So I harvest 2 rows and then I replant them per year. Then I harvest another 2 rows, plant them, another 2 rows, plant them, so on and so forth. You get the picture. By the time I'm done the field and I come back to this row, it should be fully grown, I do believe, because we're talking multiple years. I don't remember the exact number of years it takes, especially with seasons on, of how long it takes for the trees to grow. So that's why I'm keeping track of it. I think we're on year 4, and I think I have them planted 2 years ago. 2 seasons? Sorry, not 2 seasons, 2 years ago. So I think we're sitting on 2 years growth right now. I do believe. But that is the plan. So once I get that set up, then I can hopefully make myself about $100,000 a year. Is the actual plan, is if I can make myself about $100,000 a year, then I can climb my way out of debt in no time. And then on top of that, it'll be an extra money and things to do during the winter time. It'll be I have 3 days during the winter to see if I can get 2 rows done, which I'm sure I can. Because right now what I've been doing is I've actually been clearing the backside of field 26 where you saw the initial logging setup. Because the backside of field 26 does have some pretty decent logs and a good chunk of them. And it's only, excuse me, starting to get a little dry mouth here. All this talking. So the only thing is, the problem is that they have great trees to log, which you see these tall straight ones, which I have a lot of them back there, which I've been using. But they also have the other ones that are angled and such. Now those ones are a pain in the butt to log. Now, I don't know if they've fixed I'm not too sure if, oh yeah, here they go. There is my, we'll drive past it while I talk here. The trees back there, I've been able to do a pretty decent amount of logging and make some good money per year. And I have made a couple grand, usually, gives me the day, so to speak. And now the plan is, excuse me, I'm fumbling my words here. So now the plan is basically have those trees, holy geez, you can see them from here. So I have those trees as my logging setup. And then once I make the big bucks, I have that buffer of slots that I can actually get the good logging equipment. Because right now, obviously, just by hand in that one trailer is all I can afford and is all I'm doing. So we're getting her done. Now I've got 100 plus trees already cut down, but I don't have... Yeah, I don't... It says 560 trees planted. So I know that's including the first field. So I know that there's not 560 in the one, but there's 560 in total. So the first ones are going to be a bit of a money waste just because of the fact that, just because of the fact that they're so small, but it's still going to make me some money. I know that I can cut them all down by hand and I can pretty much load up my flatbed with them. I don't even need the trailer. So once I load up the flatbed, then away we go. All right, and then this is again the little back trail to get back into my farm. There we go. So there's a maize field. We're just getting into the back corner here, and we'll come right out by the wooden gate, or the wooden shed. And here we are, back at the farm. Alrighty, folks. Well, again, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was entertaining for you. I wasn't planning initially to do the video, but I'm sure glad I was able to. For those of you who don't play 19, maybe this would interest you in starting it up yourself, and those who do, maybe this is giving you some pointers. Anyways, regardless of that, any questions, any comments, let me know what you think. Put it all down in the comments, and I'll get back to them as soon as possible. And again, thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon. And we will see you soon.